All right, number 31. In the xy plane above, the circle has center h comma k and radius 10. What is the value of k? Okay, so the k value is the y value of the center. So that's what we're trying to figure out. That's where the center is. So for this question, we know the radius is 10. So the radius is the distance between the center of the circle and any point on the circle. So what we can do first is we can draw the radius like this. Okay, from the center to this point on the circle, we know this will be 10. And also from the center to another point on the circle, like the other point here, the radius will also be 10. Okay, the radius will also be 10. So what we have here is now we actually made this triangle. So if you look at this, and this will be a triangle. And we want to figure out the k value. So this is like the height of the triangle, right? Because from the x-axis, this will be like 0, and then all the way to the k value. So if you can figure out how long this side is, that should be the k value. Okay, so that's what we have to do here. So another clue that we have is, so these 2 points, 4, 0 and 20, 0, these are the x-intercepts. So from the numbers, we have 4 and 20. We know then the distance of the bottom side, the total distance of the bottom side should be 16. Okay, so the bottom side for the triangle should be 16 because we go from 4 to 20. Right, so 16 units away. Okay, right. So what we can do now is this. Say this whole thing is 16. We can just look at half of this triangle. Right, if we just take this out of the right half, see, we actually have a right triangle to work with here. Right, so this whole thing is 16, then half of this should be 8 and 8. Right, so on side there should be 8. We're solving for the height, and then we know this is 10, so that's like the hypotenuse of the right triangle. Okay, since we're dealing with a right triangle, the 3 sides of the right triangle, we have a special rule that we can use, is called the Pythagorean Theorem, right? So a squared plus b squared equal to c squared. Okay, where a and b are the 2 legs of the right triangle, and c is always the hypotenuse of the right triangle. So you can plug in the numbers and solve. So you can say is a squared plus b squared will be the other leg, will be a squared. Equal to c squared is the hypotenuse squared, which is 10 squared. Okay. To solve from here, we get a squared plus 64 equal to 100. And then minus 64 on both sides. Get a squared equal to this 36. Right? A squared equal to 36. And then to solve for a, we can just go and take the square root on both sides. Okay, that will cancel out the square. So a should be square root of 36, it would just be 6. Okay, it won't be -6 as a side, it had to be positive. So in this case, 6 will be this height, which is also the k value, the center. That would be like the distance, right? For the from this point to the center. So that would be the same as a k value. Okay. Yep. So 6 will be our final answer. And that should be it for number 31.